Hi, I'm Meghana Boda, a freshman at Olentangy High School and a co-founder of the organization Gen Z Girls. I'm an athlete and I love writing about my personal stories and the lessons that anyone can take from them. Today, I'm here on the behalf of the Teen Pop magazine. The Teen Pop magazine is the first online magazine for high schoolers that gives young, aspiring journalists the opportunity to share their voice, build their writing portfolio, and receive peer feedback and mentorship in the editorial industry. If you would like to write for them, check their website, theteenpop.com. Today, I'm in conversation with the Mumbai manager, Varya Yadav. Varya Yadav is a freshman and she loves volunteering, and she founded this chapter of Cards and Kindness to spread joy in India through volunteers. Such programs are rare in India. Cards and Kindness aims to spread kindness through cards that volunteers make for children in hospitals or seniors in senior centers. They contact hospitals and senior centers offering their services and spreading kindness. How are you doing today, Varya?
I'm feeling great, and you?
I'm doing well as well. Can you tell us why and how you chose to make your transition from law and research to a human development field?
So, first of all, Cards and Kindness Mumbai is a chapter of Cards and Kindness, and we never really started with law as such. So, we just started off as an NGO from the beginning. So, the transition wasn't that huge.
Okay. How many years did it take to work on this idea, and why did it take till 2020 to finally launch?
So, I needed a lot of experience and, of course, a good team to start off with. Since I had just got into volunteering 1.5 years ago, I was just a volunteer that time and I didn't have experience as like founding an organization and leading a whole one. So I took a lot of time volunteering in organizations and getting experience while I was working on this idea. And finally, when there was lockdown, we were all at our homes. I found it as a perfect opportunity to start an organization since we all have a lot of free time nowadays. And that's why I started in 2020.
That's really cool. Could you describe Cards and Kindness Mumbai and your perspective of what the institution aims to do?
Okay, so what you said in the introduction was perfectly correct. Cards and Kindness is a non-profit, student-led, which aims to spread kindness and joy through cards which volunteers make, and we contact hospitals and senior centers, and we give them cards to bring a smile to their faces.
That's really nice. Could you describe Cards and Kind? Oh, sorry. Now let's talk about funding. How has your organization been able to source and manage funds?
So, since we just started, as of now, we haven't required funds, but of course, in the future, for our website and for good causes, we will be requiring funds. So, we do have an executive board member for fundraisers and a treasurer and a team for it. And as we grow, as we get more cards, as we get involved more in causes, we will be having fundraisers and fundraising events.
Is there a linear or progressive style of starting an NGO or foundation? And can you walk us through the process of developing or starting an NGO?
So, Cards and Kindness, as I said before, is a student led, and we've not particularly become an NGO as of now because NGOs require tax exemption and a lot of paperwork, which I believe that Cards and Kindness does not require as of now. So, we have not gone through all of the paperwork, but as of starting an NGO like ours, you need a strong executive board team who are willing to give their time and all of the determination so you can work towards starting it. And you need members who are good with outreach because one of the most important part is getting in volunteers and contacting hospitals in a way that they want to receive our cards.
Yeah. Research shows that donors are becoming more informed about how NGOs spend donated funds. From your perspective, what's the percentage that an upcoming NGO should spend to cover overhead?
So, as I said before, I don't really believe that this question really pertains to Cards and Kindness as we barely require funds and we don't take like huge donations from huge donors like how other organizations do. We will be having events and webinars that can raise money, not really fundraisers as such.
Okay. Putting your life into perspective, when you sense fear or discouragement, how do you generate confidence?
So, one part about me is that I'm a very musical person. I really love music. So, whenever I feel sad or disappointed or just not in the mood to do anything, I listen to some motivational music or do what I love. For example, I talk to my friends, do some art, or even work on my projects as it so that I have a feeling that there is something good to go on for.
Yeah. What is the hardest part of running an NGO? For example, what are the daily obstacles that you need to combat to keep your NGO afloat?
So, since we don't really need funds to keep it afloat, but we do need volunteers. So, as I mentioned before, few people are really free, so they are indulging themselves in other activities, which can result in people not having a lot of free time to volunteer
Yeah,
if they're already a part of something else. So, currently, the shortage of volunteers is what we need. So we have to get through All for Good and Volunteer Match on several websites that we did not have before, but we've created now so that we can attract more volunteers to making cards and answering emails from volunteers and making sure they all get their certificates. Because one thing I've noticed is that volunteers sometimes they make the cards and then they need the certificates immediately, which takes a lot of time for a tech team to create it, since we get a lot of cards and we need to confirm and validate the cards and make sure they're fine.
yeah,
So yes.
okay. So now for the last question. To the people reading this, watching this, and probably thinking that they can't accomplish what you have accomplished, what would you say to them?
I would tell them that there's nothing you can't really accomplish. Like a year and a half ago, I just got into volunteering. My first volunteer opportunity was when I was a tutor, and I saw how amazing it would be to start my own NGO when I saw everybody working so hard towards it. So you just need that encouragement and that determination to work towards it and found an organization. It's not that much like you need skills for it. You just need the determination for it.
Yeah, that is very true. Thank you so much, Varya, for being here and joining us today. If you would like to know more about Varya Yadav or Cards and Kindness Mumbai, stay tuned with the Teen Pop magazine.